for your business and then for your family life? Are you a big goal setter? How are you performing those? And then, what do you see in your future?
Yeah. So from the business side, I've hit two of my big goals, which was publishing a book and getting on a TEDx stage. So now it's publishing a book that goes more mainstream and can reach more people, and then keynoting messages around that concept in bigger capacity. So the next 3 years, it's going to be a big push for getting this book out and getting it all over the place. Like I'd love to literally sell 1 million copies, which is a huge goal, but anything's possible, and certainly people
Yeah,
do it. So
absolutely.
that's going to be huge for me. And then business wise, like I've expanded the team this year,
Mhm.
and we're
How big's your
expanding the.
team? Sorry.
Oh, it's probably it's two core people, and then there's another three subcontractors that support those two people,
Awesome.
and then me. And this year, some of the big shift and pivot is expanding to a guest format on the podcast and not just solo episodes from me. And so expanding my network is a huge goal of mine, which there's not really KPIs on that, but really connecting with more people who are doing big things in parallel niches, even if it's not the same, and just expanding the network and growing the friendships and seeing, you can't do everything by yourself. Like it's getting out of the people's communities and serving their communities powerfully and bringing them into your community. Like all that cross-pollination is not just a good business idea. It's a good way for you to enjoy the journey of being an entrepreneur. So more networking and connecting in the best sense of the word. Revenue goals, we want to grow and scale and do some cool things, but I really have, like, I've reached all my revenue goals. I don't really have big revenue goals that I focus on. It's more of a process, like what kind of work week do I want to have? What kind of things do I want to be doing in the business? That's important to me. And then family, man, we're in a really interesting season where I've got 4 more years with my oldest daughter before she goes off to college, and 7 more years with my youngest. So this is a short window of like making
Yeah.
sure I'm super present with my kids at a pretty critical time now, where they're figuring out who they are as young women and what they're interested in, and their identities are being shaped in a new way, in a more profound way. So I want to be super present with them. So it's just, lots of family trips, lots of memory making, like a lot of money and time spent on that kind of stuff. It's like the investing in those relationships, being with them and enjoying that season, because in 7 years from today, like there'll be a season where we'll be empty nesters. And then Shay and I can do a lot of different things that when we're more flexible, and that'll be fun too. And that'll have its own goals of what that looks like in our relationship there. But right now it's like family focused. And then beginning to shift the brand a bit more as being a thought leader, as an author and speaker. So that'll be set up for sort of the twilight years of my life when I get into my 50s and 60s.